Oh no.
Okay, we're back. Sorry, minor technical difficulties to start. This week is my week, you guys. Don't we know? We know that, right? This is the week. Okay, I have not opened any chats, so I'm just talking to myself right now for what it's worth. Alrighty. What's up, you guys? How's it going? Hello, hello. Hey, I use Arch, by the way. What's up? What's up? YouTube chat acknowledged first. Actually, huge day for YouTube chat. And now we go to Twitch. The people. I'm gonna be so for real. I'm kind of frustrated. I'm a little bit frustrated this week because I've been fighting migraines all week. And I think I'm figuring out what's causing it. But it's really annoying because I was like, you know, I was ready to lock in. I was ready to lock in this week. And then I've just been moving. Like, I feel like I could have finished this already. Like, I was planning on finishing most of this on Sunday. And then Sunday I got a migraine. Monday I had a migraine. Yesterday I was pretty good. And then I started getting another migraine in the evening. And so it's been a bit of a not ideal. Too much screen time. I actually was trying to do less screen time yesterday. So I think the problem is actually dehydration. I think that my place is like, I think that my home is very dry. So I'm getting a humidifier and stuff. I think my humidity level is at like 30%, which is apparently on the lower side. And yeah, I think it's actually dehydration because when I've been drinking electrolytes, it's actually been helping a lot. So I think it is that mostly. Do you open your window often enough? I get a lot of fresh air because I walk a lot. Listen, I got eggs to hatch in Pokemon Go, okay? I be walking. I be getting fresh air. But yeah, I do open my windows quite a bit and stuff, but I think it's just not humid enough. And I think that that's causing like dryness in my eyes. And then I think I'm also just getting dehydrated. Even though I drink a lot of water, I think I just need to drink more water. And because yesterday I drank so much water. And then, yeah, and it was helping. But then in the evening, I think I was starting to get it because of the screen time accumulating throughout the day. So I think I just need to commit to screen time early on in the day is just going to be for coding. Yeah. It's so annoying. But it is what it is. Do you drink coffee or tea? So yesterday I had no caffeine. I usually only drink like 1 cup. I'll drink like 1 cup of black tea a day. Usually like 12 ounces. So it's not like I drink a crazy amount of caffeine or anything like that either. I think it's literally just the air is dry. Also, Dave, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Yesterday, I was starting to get tension behind my eyes at night. And I think it was, I was drinking a lot of water. I think it was maybe just I think it's also just screen time. Who knows? I think a humidifier, I'll see how I feel after that, you know? I think that a humidifier can fix everything. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed because obviously it's like annoying when you are like ready to do something and then your body's like, actually, no. No. Okay, I use Arch says, I just get a head massage and then wash my hair for excess oil when I get a migraine, and that helps a lot. Okay. That is also good to know. I did find I had a shower before bed last night, and that actually really helped. Mm-hmm. Zahori says some people get high blood pressure from from having many years of drinking coffee. So I tend to have low blood pressure genetically, to the point where I gotta make sure I'm eating enough salty foods, so I don't faint, so I don't keel over, so I don't drop dead. But yeah, so we have electrolytes in here. We have electrolytes and a dream. Okay, that's what's running the stream today. Amalik is asking how the Rust learning is going. I think it's going really well. I'm gonna actually maybe put these on because these are supposed to help relax my eyes more too. Wait, let me clean them first. I'm gonna use my sweater because I don't, oh, the thing's here. Honestly, okay, I think it's like anything where it's really, it doesn't make sense until it does. You know what I mean? So I think it's kind of one of those things where you just kind of need to see it in practice, hear it from maybe different POVs of explanation for different things before it clicks. So far, I haven't found it too bad. I think there's just a lot of ceremony with Rust and a lot of things that the compiler will get mad at you for. But the compiler is really great. So even if you get something wrong, like even if you're doing something that you shouldn't, the compiler is very detailed in why something doesn't work. So, yeah. I think it's good. Shouldn't it be sugar? For low, no, that's blood sugar. You're thinking low blood sugar. I have low blood pressure. Yeah, no sunglasses or ice pack so far today. So we're good. We're doing good. All right. Electrolytes in a dream sounds like my average running session. Honestly, you kind of right. All right, let's learn about Rust closures. They're just anonymous functions. And we'll demonstrate here. You know what? I'm also going to set a little Pomodoro as a reminder for me to look away from the screen and then acknowledge chat and then get back into learning. So I think that'll be really good. Nick, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, the Rust compiler is the GOAT. Okay, we'll demonstrate how these closures allow for code reuse and behavior customization. Okay. Where is the closure? Okay, the first aspect of closures that we're going to examine is, I wonder if maybe it's these that are actually bothering my eyes. I don't know. The optometrist said that it's good to relax them, but that I don't need glasses, so we'll see. Anyway, okay. The first aspect of closures we're going to examine is that closures can capture values from the environment they're defined in for later use. Here's a scenario. So a t-shirt company gives away a free t-shirt to someone on their mailing list every so often. People on the mailing list can optionally add their favorite color to their profile. And if the person chosen to get that free shirt has their favorite color in their profile, they get that shirt. Okay. So for example, we're going to use an enum. I like this example too, because this kind of makes me think of like so many other examples with like product management, distribution, whatever, that you could make as like small little examples to apply what you're learning, you know? I do not know how I feel about these electrolytes right now. They're like the really salty ones. Sometimes they really hit for me, and right now they're very salty. Okay. Company's inventory is represented by an inventory struct that has a field named shirts that contains a vector of shirt colors representing the shirts currently in stock. Wait, shirt color is an enum? Why aren't they just using a map? Couldn't they just have a map of all of the available shirt colors and then the number? I feel like that would be better. Unless I'm missing something. Wait, what is the shirt color? It's just enum red or blue. We'll see. Okay. The method shirt giveaway defined in inventory gets an optional shirt color preference of the person getting the free shirt and allows the shirt color, and returns the shirt color the person will get. Okay, so it's showing us all of this. Where's the closure? Which part? The store defined in main has 2 blue shirts and 1 red shirt in stock. All right, show me the... Wait, where? Inventory. Oh, I see. What a weird way of doing this. Okay. It's like, oh, we have 2 blue shirts in stock, so we're going to have 2 elements that are blue shirts in our vector. So strange. Map is a key value. Enum is just a list. Yeah, but I feel like this... Anyway, I feel like we could have blue and 2 instead of 2 blue elements in a vector. Okay. The store defined in main has 2 blue shirts and 1 red shirt in stock, and then it calls the giveaway method for a user with a preference for a red shirt and a user without any preference. Okay, store.giveaway, user preference 1, which is... Okay. And let me look at giveaway. User preference is shirt color or most stocked. Okay. This code could be implemented in many ways, but this way uses concepts you've already learned, except for the body of the giveaway method. The body of the giveaway method uses a closure. The giveaway method takes user preference, option, shirt color, and calls unwrap or else. Oh, this is interesting. You're not supposed to use unwrap, is what I've learned. Actually, teacher, we shouldn't do that. From what I've learned. Oh, here. What is this technical documentation? This is the here. There's our learn Rust command. I'll pin it in the chat for you. Learn Rust. Some fancy things you can do with enums in Rust. So it seems strange, but you'll see this is the way to do it in Rust. Oh my god. Oh no. Okay. Unwrap or else is the right alternative to unwrap. Oh, okay. Actually, bashbunni, you're wrong. Noted. So far, no headache today. The last few days have been a bit rough, TBH. Okay. So it calls unwrap or else. Give me the... On option T. Okay. It's defined by the standard library. It takes 1 argument, a closure without any arguments that return a value T, some variant of the option T, and in this case, a shirt color. If option T is the same as the sum variant, unwrap or else returns the value from within the sum. If option T is a sum variant, returns a value from within the sum. If the option T is the none variant, oh, I see. Right. Oh my god, you're so right. Oh, it's because it's option, and then the type is the enumerator type, and then you're seeing if it's a valid value, and if it is, then I don't know what this means, but if not, you return the most stocked. What is, so I guess it's dot unwrap or else. Why is it or? Is this or? That's what I want to know. What's that doing in there? Maybe it's because self is not in here. So this is basically self or self.most stocked is my guess. Yeah, why not introduce closures as the map/filter? That would make more sense. See? Even though I don't know Rust yet. See? I'm right. You know what? At least one person in chat said I was right, so that's actually big news for me today. Actually huge. Okay. Unwrapper else returns the same value from within some. We passed a closure that calls self mode stocked on the current inventory instance. The standard library does not need to know anything about the inventory or the shirt color types that we have defined, or the logic that we want to use in this scenario. All right. Bear with me. We're getting comfy. Oh, that is the syntax for starting a closure. Honestly, they should have said that. They should have mentioned that already. That's kind of messed up. They're leaving me guessing. Okay. Oh, so for example, if most stocks needed a parameter, it would be X and then X in there. We'll see. That's my guess. Goodbye forever, dog. My dog is gone. Standard library didn't need to know anything about the inventory or the shirt color types that we have defined or the logic we want to use in the scenario. The closure captured an immutable reference to the self-inventory instance. Oh, I see. Most stocked. I don't this, you know what? This feels weird. I don't get it yet, but we're going to move on because I think it'll click in the future. I don't think rereading that is going to help me. Okay, so there are differences between functions and closures. Closures don't usually require you to annotate the types of the parameters or the return value like function types do. Okay, so type annotations are required because they're part of an explicit interface exposed to your users. Defining this interface rigidly is important for ensuring that everyone agrees on what types of values the function uses and returns. But closures aren't used on an exposed interface like this. They're stored in variables and used without naming them and exposing them to users of our library. Closures are typically short and relevant only within a narrow context rather than in an arbitrary scenario. Try to make sure I'm drinking enough water. I feel like you guys are hearing me slurp and it's making me uncomfortable. Oh wait, I was right. So this is a closure. This is one of the arguments that you can pass in that gets used in the closure. I'm gonna be honest, this looks weird. So this just returns X. Example closure. Oh, mismatch type. Oh, this one is mismatched. Okay, I was like, what? Okay. Okay, the following is a vertical comparison. I actually don't think I've worked. I don't know what the features are of closures. I have not worked with closures in other languages, I don't think. Unless it's just anonymous functions. Okay, so this one is just a function definition. Do lambdas ring any bells? Yeah, but those are just basically anonymous functions. Okay. Same thing. Oh. Why do they got so many crazy names? They're making it sound like it's all impressive, whatever. It's just an unnamed function. Do a thing. With context of the scope where it's defined. Yeah. They sound so, yeah, right? Musi, right? Why, like, anonymous function is like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. It doesn't have a name. And then they're like, oh, it's also a lambda and a closure. And I'm like, what the, do we got to do all of that? I don't think we got to do all that. I'm a software engineer. I use lambdas at work. I'm like, friggin', you're using anonymous function. You're a programmer. Deal with it. Deal with it. Oh, closure is closed over the scope. Okay, well, you know what? You're kind of right. You can have an anonymous function that does not capture scope, so it's not a closure. Okay. You know what? You could be right. You know what? I've changed my tune. I'm a software engineer and I use closures. Engineer. I don't build bridges or save lives, but engineer. All right. The second line has a fully annotated closure definition. This one. So this is fully annotated. This one is not fully annotated. This is just a function signature, function definition. Okay, so this is a function definition. This is a closure with full annotation. This is a closure where you're not stating the return type, but you still have the body with the curly whirlies. This one is just the body, no curly whirlies, no return type. But you assume the return type is probably U32 because that is the input type and that's what's being used. It's all about the ability to capture local variables by simply using them inside the closure. Closure does not equal closure. Closure does not equal you know what? You're so right. I should have thought of that first. Okay. These are all valid definitions. They produce the same behavior when they're called. Calling the closures is required for v3 and v4 to be able to compile because these types will be inferred from their usage. What? You don't have to call this one? Frick. Wait, it's going to tell me. Okay, so it has this. Add one. Calls an example. I don't know what, it's fine. You know what? I don't know what it's trying to tell me here. Calling the closures is required for those ones because the types will be inferred from their usage. I guess it's saying that you can't just pass that closure to, yeah, I don't know what that's saying exactly. It's fine. It's fine. We'll figure it out. Soul, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. How do you like Rust so far? It's good. It's I mean, I think it's it does feel like one of those languages that it's gonna take, I think, a lot of time to get used to whatever patterns they kind of force you into. However, I think that it'll teach a lot of like best practices, you know, in a lower level language, which is nice. Comment out line 16 and then you'll see what they mean. Okay, you know what? You're so smart. Oh, you're so smart. Oh, I see. Okay. You're right. You're like, this one's never been called, so we don't know how to use it, so we're pissed. Honestly, fair. Okay, closure definitions will have one concrete type inferred for each of their parameters and for their return value. For instance, the following shows the definition of a short closure that returns the value it receives as a parameter. That's this one. It isn't very useful except for the purposes of this example. Note that we haven't added any type annotations to the definition. We'll have to call the closure twice. If we then try to call the, so if we try to call the closure twice using a string and then something else, we'll get an error. Okay. Yeah, that's why it was saying it would be mad if that was 5. Okay. So it's basically an anonymous function. You can have it with, hold on, let me actually go back. I'm just going to quickly write down some of those examples that made sense to me. Okay. So let this equal to x So I need to call that later to know the types. And then there's also U32, U32, this was one. Okay. Here's the full declaration with types. Okay. Hey, have you recovered from your migraine? I feel better today. I'm hoping that it lasts. Yesterday I drank so much water because I was like, this is definitely just dehydration, and it helped. But I did find like the screen time still, I think, was kind of bothering me a little bit by the end of the day. I think what sucks too about the migraines is that you also seem to get like really bad fatigue. You know, it's like when your head and your eyes are like hurting like that, you're like, I should sleep. Your brain's like, I sleep now. And then so, yeah, I don't know. So it wasn't awesome yesterday, but I'm hoping it'll be better today. Okay, closures can capture values from the environment in 3 ways, which directly map to the 3 ways a function can take a parameter. Okay, borrowing, borrow, mute, and immute. And then also an ownership to capture values. Guys, I want to get some hardcore Rustations on the stream so they can tell us about what they love about Rust and what they've built and stuff. But I think that it maybe be fun for me to like get myself stuck on something and then get them to come on and fix it. A fellow migrainer here. Do you take anything preventative or only abortive? I mean, it's kind of one of those things. I don't usually get migraines that much. It's only like, I don't know. I never used to get migraines until I got a concussion, and then I'll get migraines on occasion. Usually it's from like, yeah, I think long screen time. I think right now it's from long screen time and also a dry environment, probably not blinking enough, to be honest. So we're trying to drink a lot of water on stream today. I actually already finished this. I'm gonna grab my other water bottle so I can keep drinking water. Sewing, you're not allowed to learn anything new until you finish your last project, okay? You got to finish your broccoli before you can have dessert. Trying to get over my shiny object syndrome, dude, so understandable. The graveyard of unfinished projects, we've all been there. Yeah, you got to eat your broccoli. Okay. Embassy.dev, Rust on microcontrollers. Okay. I'm writing it down. Whether or not I actually get around to looking at it, I hope I do. But I'm just a streamer. You never know. You never know with us. Freaking streamers, am I right? Okay. The following lesson defines a closure that captures an immutable borrow to the vector. Named list because it only needs an immutable borrow to print the value. Okay, so it's basically just saying that you should just be giving it only give it the level of access to whatever is being passed to a closure. Only give the level of access that it actually needs is probably the point of this. And showing how to do each of them. So this one only borrows from closure list. Okay, so this makes sense because the list is already in scope here. If this was okay, so if I did, we'll see. I was gonna say if I did, I'm getting ahead of myself and I'm trying to think of if I had this in like, oh wait, you know what? I can actually just, so if I declared that, but had list at a different scope. Hold on, I'm messing up their examples already. If I had this here, what would happen? So now it's pissed about that, but then what if I list and then I do, wait, before calling closure, and then I do only borrows with a list. It'll let me do that. I've messed up their whole example. I'm never going to be able to reference this again. Okay, what are you mad about? Value used after... me, like, whatever. What are you trying to teach me? Actually, I'm just going to mess around with this and see what happens. Okay, value used after being moved, which means we can do that, and it'll borrow. And I think I have to do and mute if I wanted it to be mutable. No? Or it's maybe mad. Cannot borrow the immutable. Oh, I see. Okay. So this, if I made it mut, then it's happy. I think I get it. Okay. I think I'm getting the point of what it was trying to tell me in this text. But I was mostly just curious. I was like, so right now, basically in the original version of this had no arguments to it. But you could access list because it was in the same scope. In this case, I've moved list to a different scope in order to see if I could still use list within the closure, blah, 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 by passing it in a different scope. I was just curious what that would look like. Yo, what's up? How's it going? Printline macro only borrows the list. That's sick. It is actually dope that it does that. Okay, list is still accessible by the code. Immutable borrows. Borrows mutably. So this is just borrowing mutably because we've now defined list to be mutable. Where's the immutable borrow? It's gone. I deleted it. My bad. Uh-oh. Do you feel your Rust skills growing yet? Oh, yeah, for sure. Hi, Nano. Thank you so much for the 4 months. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. How is my head doing today? It's much better, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm hydrating a lot. So that helps. Borrows mutably because of the push. Well, because it mutates it and list is mutable. Oh, or yeah. It's considered a mutable. Okay. So we have to declare that as mute. I mean, that's fine. You know what I think is helping with my confidence a lot more with Rust is that I know that even if I forget some of this like more ceremonial explicit stuff, the compiler is just going to fix it. The compiler can fix me. And that helps a lot because it's like, you know, how are you going to remember all this, you know? Vi's changed a lot since I last looked at it. This is, well, I don't know if you're making, I can't tell if you're making a joke because it's over text. If you're making a joke, then it's funny. But also if you're not making a joke, it's because this is JetBrains. And I'm in Emacs normally. Okay. If you want to force the closure to take ownership, then it uses the environment. Wait, what? The values it uses in the environment, even though the body of the closure doesn't need ownership. You can use the move keyword before the parameter list. Show me. Okay, move keyword. Fine, you won't show me move keyword for like forced ownership. Me shaking JetBrains, show me. Show me the move closure. I need to know. Oh, I think no, it's not here. Okay, my bad. It's fine. Move foo. Oh, thank goodness chat is here to save the day. Your hoodie looks very comfy. Thank you. This one I think is a TNA hoodie. But I'll say, I think Carhartt makes some really good hoodies. One of my favorite hoodies is my Carhartt hoodie. Because I don't know if they still make it the same, but it's so thick. Very nice, thick material. I think if you get it from like Bass Pro Shop or like Cabela's or something where it's like a hunting kind of thing, they have more, I think, like utility Carhartt stuff. What's on the menu for today? Today we are learning closures right now, and then we do closures and then iterators and then smart pointers. Yippee! All right, I might mute for a sec so that I can eat my yogurt in peace. And we'll read together. Except you're not reading. Let's be so for real. I'm just gonna mute for a Harpua, thank you so much for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Sorry guys, I'm eating my yogurt still, in peace. I've added music to the stream though. Also, I hope I didn't jump scare you, but I might have. Okay, I'm back from yogurt land. It was a good time. And I have tea. Don't worry, decaf. Just in case. Okay. Accepts different kinds of closures. This is evil. Probably not, but it feels a little bit evil right now. Oh, I see. No, that makes sense. So it's basically saying that F is okay, where F is FnOnce, which is one of the Fn traits, and it's saying that a regular function can also satisfy those traits that would allow you to pass any other function. Not just an anonymous function. Okay, that makes sense. Isn't caffeine used to treat migraines? Yeah, I think if I get a migraine, I'll have some later. But some people are saying that maybe it was a caffeine headache. And I was like, you know, I don't think I've been drinking that much caffeine, but maybe I'll scale it back a bit and see. I don't think that was the cause of it, TBH. But you never know. All right, sort by key. Sorry, guys, I'm hitting the mic. You know how it is. You know how it is around here. I'm a new streamer. All right. Let's look at the standard library method, sort by key, define on slices to see how that differs. It takes a closure that implements FnMut. Closure gets one argument, a reference to the current item in the slice that's being considered, and returns a type of value k that can be ordered. If if you want to sort a slice by a particular attribute of each item, that is actually very handy. Okay, sort by key. Is this something that they have defined? Where do I go to definition here? Go to... Oh, it's a built-in. Okay. So sort by key uses a closure. I see. So sort by key is on a slice. Okay. So we're doing sort by key, and then we're getting the rectangle's width, and we're sorting by that. Easy peasy. Okay, the reason sort by key is defined to take a MUT is that it calls the closure multiple times, once for each item in the slice. And the closure r.width doesn't capture, mutate, or move anything out from its environment, so it meets the trait bound requirements. True. Nice thing is too, again, the compiler will get mad at you. It'll tell you right away if there's a problem. Okay, in contrast, the next listing shows an example. See, again, this is what I like about compiled languages, though, is that while you're writing it, the compiler will get mad at you about it. Brother. Interpreted languages? Am I goofy? What is Python? Yes. Okay, I'm like, yeah, runtime. Okay, I was like, hello. And my brain blanked. My brain blanked for a sec. With interpreted languages, you have to actually get a runnable example in order to know if the way that you did it was absolutely cursed. So I like that. I like being babysat by my compiler. Okay. Because it moves a value out of the environment, compiler won't let us use this closure with sort by key. Oh, here, it's baffle. Baffle turd is a very funny name. I actually meant to pin this before, and I should pin it until the end of the stream is what I meant to do. All right. The compiler won't let us use this closure with sort by key. Oh, I see. In contrast, the next listing should assume an example of the closure that only uses FnOnce because it moves the value out of the environment. Okay. Which one is it talking about? I don't quite understand. Like, what is it mad about? Type mismatch. What is it trying to do here? They try and get the number of times sort by key gets called when sorting the list. By pushing a value. Oh, I see. Okay, I was like, what does this have to do with anything? So here the value is string from by key called. It's mad because this returns something. Expected rectangle. Okay, true. This is also not right. I wish that this gave me... Can I put r.r? If I do that, what's it mad about? Where are you? Why is this a borrow? Value parameter? Does it default to a borrow? Reference. Yeah, I'm trying to see what the compiler error would be. Use a chopped keyboard. I use a keyboard cut in half. So yes. I think you can just remove the type from line. Wait, you might be right. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. You said line 29. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, true. Type annotation needed. Oh, it's, yeah, okay. I can do value is what string. It's so weird that they get, yeah, what a weird example for it to give. Okay, now what's your problem? Cannot move out of value. A captured variable. We've captured it. That's very funny. Okay, so in this case, now it's trying to move the ownership of value to the sort by key closure, which makes it not satisfy, you can't move it in a mut. You can mutate captured values, but you can't move it. I think FnOnce, it allows if it moves values out of body, then it can only be used once. I don't know if that definition makes that much sense. You push it once, the next type won't exist. That's what I'm thinking too. I'm just trying to see. I think my require captured value to be able to be consumed multiple times. FnOnce closures may consume them only once. I see. So FnOnce, this would be fine because it's only getting called once. Right. Okay. That makes sense. All right. I'm going to leave that mad. Stay mad. Okay. Closure captures value, then moves value out of the closure by transferring ownership to value to the sort operations factor. Yes, yeah. It can only be called once. Trying to call it a second time won't work. Oh, this is just what Chow was saying. You guys are so smart. Wow. Okay, when we try to compile this code, we get an error. Okay, the error points to the line in the closure body that moves a value out of the environment. To fix this, we need to change the closure body so it doesn't move values out of the environment. We're interested in the number of times sort by key is called. Keeping a counter in the environment, incrementing its value in the closure body is a more straightforward way to calculate that. Okay. You're welcome, Terpene Terror. Classical music is so good. I like that it can be energizing or chill you out. I think that's where like lo-fi can fall short sometimes, is that lo-fi is very good chill background music, but it's always chill background music. I feel like classical can have so many more variations of like how energetic the music is. Okay, so the Fn traits are really important when defining or using functions or types that make use of closures. The next section discusses iterators. Many other iterator methods take closure arguments. Keep these details of closures in mind as we explore iterators. Okay, so you have an array of I32 elements, a cap, and a closure and a counter left behind. Your task is to complete the closure given the parameter of given as a parameter to the filter method. The closure should only keep only elements strictly smaller than cap. It should also count all of the elements left behind. Okay. So basically I need some kind of condition where it's going to be if the A is less than cap. It should only keep elements. Yes, so this means yes. Otherwise... So I guess we're removing it if it's not, if this is not the case. I actually don't know if I can just do like regular conditionals here. I'm gonna try it. Then A. No? Oh, expected bool? Oh, it's expecting a Boolean. Okay. I don't know how this works. The closure should only keep elements strictly smaller than that. It should also count all the elements. So otherwise we are gonna leave, we're gonna increment left behind. So we're definitely doing that. Otherwise we're doing left behind and we're probably removing it, which is, can I do that? Is it pop? Remove. I can't remember. I should use, it is remove. Not found in the what? Oh, wait, what is this? Is element a slice? Okay, so you can't remove elements from a slice because they have a fixed size and don't own the underlying data. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that. So collect is, I think, transforms an iterator into a collection. I don't think you increment like this in Rust. Expected bool. Can I do that? Can I do this? What's it? Is it gonna be mad? Oh my god. Okay, this is way better. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know that I could do all that. Okay, they're kind of right. I didn't know that I could just use. Okay, I didn't know that this was a conditional operator. I figured it was or, but I wasn't sure. Okay, excuses. This is good to know. Okay, we're gonna close that and we're gonna rewrite ours. Left behind plus or equal 1. And also false. Okay, interesting. Okay, so we can just do this. We can do that. We can do, or, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know all that. I didn't know all that. Left behind, it's mad about this. What are you mad about? Expected bool. Hello? Left behind plus equal 1. And then false? I thought this was just a semicolon. Am I goofy? Do I have to do this or something? Oops. I don't remember what it was mad about. Seems readable to me. Oh, I see. Okay. So I basically have to denote that this is now a block of stuff. that we're gonna work with here. I see. So this has multiple things that we're doing, so we have to put it in the little curly whirlies. Got it, got it. Okay, let's move on. Get those little curly whirlies in there. Okay, iterators. I should actually, hold on, I should actually write that down. TBH, because I might forget. Odds of me forgetting are high. All right. Okay, example closure is just going to be a less than cap or block left behind plus or equal 1 false curly whirls. Yippee! Write it down in org room someday. I don't use org mode for learning. I use it for I'll use it for keeping track of projects though. I like org for notes for projects of what I'm working on in a specific project is nice. All right. I don't know where async happens. I think it's concurrency is my guess. Not for learning, I put my entire life in that shit. I need to do pen and paper. Something about it helps. Doesn't look like it's in concurrency. I know, I might just be hoed for that one, TBH. There's a chance they're just like, you know what, async, don't worry about it. Don't freaking worry about it. That's for a future you problem. It's beyond the scope of the course. Okay, so processing a series of items with iterators. Okay, perform some task on a sequence of items in turn. An iterator is responsible for the logic of iterating over each item and determining when the sequence is finished. When you use iterators, you don't have to re-implement that logic yourself. They're lazy. Sick. We love that. I'm lazy too. No, I'm just kidding. They have no effect until you call methods that consume the iterator to use it up. For example, the code in the snippet below creates an iterator over the items in vector v1, but by calling the iter method, it doesn't actually do anything useful. Okay, so we've created an iterator, and then I guess it's only once we've done this. Okay, so let's look at iterators. Iterator! Iterator. Okay. Use in, you can have it in for loops. No iteration takes place at that time. So the iterator is stored in the v1 iter, but doesn't actually do any iteration until the for loop is called using that iterator. Each element in the iterator is used in one iteration of the loop. Okay. In languages that don't have iterators provided by their standard libraries, you'd likely use the same functionality by starting the variable at index 0 and using that variable to index over the vector to get a value and incrementing the variable in a loop. Iterators handle all of that, cutting down repetitive codes that you could potentially mess up. They give you more flexibility to use the same logic with many different kinds of sequences. So you can also, okay, same logic, new sequences. More flexibility, not just data structures that you can index into. Okay, so not indexable data structures. Okay, cool. Okay, so all iterators implement the trait of iterator. It's defined in the standard library. The definition of the trait looks like pub trait iterator type item function next. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's kind of cool. Actually, hold on. I need to see OBS. I don't even know if I'm centered. I don't know if you guys can even see me. Okay, you can. That's cool. It's basically just a trait with a next method that gives you the next element until it doesn't. Yeah, I like that. Async is almost in its own world. I actually was thinking about potentially doing like an API call in my very basic little Rust thing to get the weather for a specific city and then just convert it between Fahrenheit, Celsius. And then also maybe give, yeah, basically convert between freedom units and the rest of the world. I think that would be a very easy little project. But then now I'm just like, okay, if I'm doing API calls, I probably end up doing what, Tokyo and async and stuff. But I think we can learn that on our own. The part of the reason why I'm wanting to do kind of a more in-depth, like a deep dive on this stuff is just so that I know the underlying fundamentals of the actual language itself, so that when there's behavior that happens down the line in projects that I'm writing, I'll be like, wait, this sounds kind of familiar. And then I'll actually know that this is something that exists in the language. I find that in school, this is often how we end up doing it, is that you get kind of like a more like thorough breakdown of how a language works, and then you start building stuff with it. And I think in Go, I kind of did that, but kind of skipped over it because I was like, oh, I need to prioritize building. And then I never went back to review some of the more in-depth, the deeper parts of the language, because I got too caught up with like, oh, like the most productive thing that I can do with my time is to like build things with this language versus, I don't know, taking the time to go and learn some of those other concepts. Kind of interesting. Is Rust hard to start with? I don't know. I don't think that I would recommend Rust as a first language. And I don't say that because it's like inherently harder than many other languages. I think that you can be very adaptable as a beginner, especially if you don't let yourself get intimidated by syntax. I think what makes it kind of a weird language to start with is that there's going to be a lot of things that are it's very opinionated, and everything is happening in Rust how Rust does things. So for example, if you learned like C or C++, or even like Python is nice for like a high level language that is very close to English. So it's so you don't have to kind of get bogged down by the syntax as much, but C and C++ are really good at teaching you kind of lower level, like intricacies of different languages. And those often are what a lot of different languages took inspiration from. So they can be a really, really good foundation because you're like, oh, this is really familiar based on my experience with those two languages. With Rust, I don't think that you're going to learn Rust, and then if you have to learn a different language at any point, that you're going to be like, oh yeah, this is familiar because I saw this in Rust. You know what I mean? I don't think it's as, like, it's kind of its own little island. I feel like you talked about this. Have you spent any time with functional languages like Lisp, Elixir, or Haskell? A little bit, like barely. I started learning Haskell. I've attempted to learn Haskell multiple times, but it was kind of one of those things where it wasn't high enough priority for me, and I kept getting taken away from it. So it was kind of one of those things where it's like, because it kind of kept getting pushed aside, I would do really well, learn it, feel good about it, and then take like a week or two away from it, and then go back and forget what I'd learned because I didn't get deep enough to like have basically enough buffer for that skill atrophy to not be super impactful in the learning. Yeah. And it's kind of one of those things where at a certain point I was like, okay, this makes sense. This is nice. But then I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to build with this because there's not that much of a I feel like there's not that much of a community around Haskell of like cool things that are being built. I've heard really good things about Closure. I've heard really good things about Lisp. What's the other one? OCaml, obviously, as well. But yeah. I was never attracted to Haskell for that reason. So what I really like about Haskell is I was like, oh, I feel like because it's, again, so opinionated, so like strict with how you need to solve things, that I was like, oh, this is going to change how I think about problem solving. And I think that that's a really positive thing. But then I kind of felt like it's hard to like think about benefit beyond that, you know? So it's kind of a whole thing. By using Emacs, aren't you basically also a Lisp user? It's more like a Lisp interpreter than a text editor. Yeah, I mean, it's like barely. Like I'm using Doom Emacs, so it's like a pre-built Emacs. I'm not really customizing it the same way that I did my NeoVim config. Because I just found it's like, right now, I just want reliability, you know? But, yeah. All right, let's hack on these iterators. Let's figure it out. Doom Emacs is really good. It's been incredibly stable. Hey, currently have a decent grip on C and Python. Confused if I should pick Go or Rust. I would look at like what jobs you want. Like, what's the point of you learning these different languages? I think Go has a really good open source ecosystem, a great community. It's easy to learn, and it's easy to contribute to other projects because it's such a simple language. Like, by design, they've kept it very minimalistic, which I think is really nice. I think you should look at if you're learning it because you're like, oh, this will be good for future opportunities, then maybe look at the job market and or whatever. Look at those and see, you know, which one aligns most with where you would potentially want to work and stuff like that. I will say though, Rust has always come out, or has often come out, as like the most loved language for like years running, I think. I'm trying to remember. JetBrains has a whole their developer ecosystem survey that they do, and I think Rust is always like the most loved language. Here. I think Rust is probably I think it's a good time to know Rust. So right now Go has the highest here. You know what? You might want to read through this. I am, however, trying to find it. Yeah, it just depends on like where you're, you know, like where you're based out of, etc. Like how many job opportunities are there for for those languages. It's not giving me the actual metrics that I want, but oh well. They have information there that may be helpful. Okay, the iterator trait and the next method. Okay. Type item and self item. You're defining an associated type with this trait. Okay, I'm gonna write this down. So this is for the trait iterator. So, and then methods with default implementations were removed. So type item, self item, this is an associated type for this trait. Type with this trait. So this code says that implementing the iterator trait requires that you also define an item trait. Okay, so you also need to define item type. This actually looks very similar to some of the patterns we were using in Bubble Tea for the list. Okay, I also need to define an item type if you implement iterator. Item type will be the type returned from the iterator. The iterator trait only requires implementers to define one method, the next method, which returns one type of the iterator at a time wrapped in sum. And when the iteration is over, it returns none. Okay. It goes sum while vowels remain, none at the end. Okay. All right. Following example demonstrates what values are returned from repeated calls to next on the iterator created from the vector. Okay, cool. We needed to make the v1 iter mutable. Calling the next method on an iterator changes internal state that the iterator uses to keep track of where that sequence is. Okay. So must be mutable state tracking for the iterator. Okay, so it consumes basically, okay, I like that. Consumes the iterator. Wow. Okay, also note that the values we get from the calls to next are immutable references to the values in the vector. The iter method produces an iterator over immutable references. If we want to create an iterator that takes ownership of v1 and returns own values, we can call into iter instead of iter. Similarly, if we want to iterate over mutable references, we can call iter mut. Iterating over mutable references. Okay. So iter mut, that is for mutable refs versus just iter. Not mut. Ref. I know you guys hate them. The muts. Mut. Actually, okay, I'm gonna take 5 and go stare at a wall, aka something very far away. To a bit of a mutt myself. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go stare to relax my eyes. So far, so good. No migraine, but I'm trying to do some preventative stuff here. All right, BRB. This is your chance to also stare into the void. Okay, we're back. Alrighty. All right. So methods that consume the iterator. Methods that call next are consuming adapters. Okay. Okay, because calling them uses up the iterator. One example is the sum. One of them is a sum which takes ownership of the iterator and iterates through each of the items repeatedly, calling next, thus consuming the iterator. As it iterates through, it adds each item as a running total and returns the total when the iteration is complete. The code snippet below has a test illustration for the use of the sum method. Okay. Iter.sum. This is sick. I remember iterators from like Java. And then I haven't touched them since. Okay, we aren't allowed to use v1 iter after the call to sum because sum takes ownership of the iterator we call it on. I mean, honestly, that's fine because the iterator gets consumed anyway. No? Does it change this? It must change the state of the iter. I think they said it did. Okay, and then there's also iterator adapters. Maybe tomorrow I'll try to actually start, like, because we're getting closer to the end of this. So maybe tomorrow's stream, we'll see. I already have the Rust environment set up in Doom Emacs on my Linux machine, which is usually what I show on stream. But I'll try to make sure everything's all set up for that so that we can do an actual like Rust programming stream and just work on a super basic, easy project. And then maybe that'll be like more fun content for you tomorrow, because I don't know how interesting this part of it is to you. I think it's just a very real part of the process, but so I still like to share it anyway, but you know, it is what it is. It could be fun to basically try to figure out whatever I need to do to get API calls working. I find it super interesting. Really? Okay. That's good to know. I mean, hey, we're advancing. We're at iterators, and then how far? I mean, we've got a lot of tasks coming up. We're actually, oh, it's pretty much intro and then tasks. Okay, we might actually be flying. We're cruising through the rest of this. Okay. Iterator adapters. They allow you to change iterators into different kinds of iterators. Oh, what the heck? Okay. Change iter to another kind of iter. Interesting. You can chain multiple calls to iterator adapters to perform complex actions in a readable way. Because they're all iterators are lazy, you have to call one of the consuming adapter methods to get results from calls to iterator adapters. Okay. That I think makes sense. So this is an example of calling the iterator adapter method map, which takes a closure to call on each item to produce a new iterator. The closure here takes a new iterator from which each item of the vector has been incremented by 1. And it's saying that this is not used. Does that mean that you just, okay, we'll see. I was gonna propose something, I'd change my mind. You're learning way faster than I did. Okay, for what it's worth, I'm doing this full time. Okay, I am not also balancing a full-time job, which I'm assuming most of you are. So like, you know, take it with a grain of salt. I am, however, battling migraines, but you know, I think that's like very big disclaimer there, because I totally have also been in those shoes where I'm like, okay, well, I have a full-time job and I also want to do this and I also want to do that, and I don't have time to do all of it, you know? So just in case you're feeling that way at all, bear in mind that I get to do this stuff for funsies. Oh, sorry. And now I'm smacking you. That's kind of mean. My bad. I'm hitting the mic. Okay, the code in the last example doesn't do anything. The closure that we specified never gets called. The warning reminds us of why. It's because the iterator adapters are lazy. Okay, so these also require consumption. Consumption iter to use lazy. What is your gig now? I'm basically just doing content full time. During that time, my goal is basically just to focus on all of my own goals for like development skills, content, everything. Like there's I think I've been feeling like for a long time I've had to kind of prioritize skills that were needed, but like needed from me for different organizations that I worked at. And it kind of allowed other things that were important to me to kind of like be deprioritized. And so right now, for however long I can sustain it and that it makes sense, I'm just gonna like focus in on building out some of those skills that I feel like I have kind of unmet potential with and that I've never really been able to dedicate full time to. So that's kind of what I'm up to. Yeah. So basically just doing like YouTube, live streaming, different like, short form content, doing all that content stuff, and then working with brands as well as part of that. And my goal, I don't think my goal is I don't really know if my goal is to necessarily continue to do that or not. I think it's kind of one of those things, like it's a privilege to be able to do that. And I think that there's a lot of people that I think deserve to be working on their open source stuff full time. So I would love to be able to, like, at a point where it's feasible, I would love to be able to kind of pass that along or carry that forward in some way, where it's like, if I'm able to use my platform to amplify the messaging around some of these open source tools and people that I think are doing so much, having like so impactful in the software space, but aren't necessarily getting the recognition that I think they deserve, I think it'd be nice to be able to use my platform for that, and then also be able to basically leverage any kind of like deals that I'm doing with brands. If I can help redistribute that money towards open source, that would be kind of like the bigger goal. I would also say, I think, I do think I want to, at one point, either do like software development contract work or have my own company that is like maybe software as a service, maybe something else. But I could see myself having my own company. I've got like quite a few different ideas for different things. But yeah, so I think it'd be cool to do that. I think like basically some of my dreams as like from less of a straightforward POV of just like, okay, my broader dreams are kind of, like I'd love to amplify open source and be able to, in whatever ways possible, make that an actual viable option for people to do full time, and try to support that in whatever ways I can. And I would also love to be able to create jobs. I know that there's a lot of I don't know. I think that it would be very fun to be able to, if I can continue growing, doing all like the social media stuff, that's a really great way to get eyes on things. And if I am in a position where I can basically be like, hey, here's a really cool software idea, let's build a business around this, and be able to like basically employ a bunch of, maybe not a bunch, we'll keep the team, like I would want to keep the teams pretty small, but like small enough teams where it's efficient, but like, hey, run with this idea, and then like using my platform as a way to like, you know, kind of promote that as my own business, but also be able to like basically use that money to like pay developers to be doing what they want to do. Those would be like those are my bigger goals with it. And so right now right now it's like oxygen mask on first. Like, let's just figure out how to sustain Bunny. And then next step is like, how do I expand more to be able to get this to be, to be able to create opportunities for developers that, so that they can work on things that are actually really interesting to them, you know? I just think that would be so cool. I feel like I've just met so many people that I think are so absolutely inspiring in the open source space. And it is like kind of bonkers to me that they don't get to work on a tool that is like so widely used and everything, like so dependent on, that they can't do that full time, you know? I see. So basically you want to amplify what you've been doing, create a sustained workflow, scale it to teams to do this. In a sense, yeah. Like, I feel like right now the income is coming from, the income comes from content, but I would want to like diversify that in the future and make it more, maybe get more oriented around software, and or use my privilege as someone who is able to monetize through content to be able to redistribute that to developers where it's kind of notoriously difficult to get users and to get funds behind their projects. I think that'd be very cool. So that's the goal. But first we learn Rust. This is the key. I need this. All right. So the code in the last example doesn't do anything. The closure that we specified never gets called because this one is just an iterator adapter, not an iterator, a consuming adapter. So it needs a consumer, something to consume the iterator. Okay, to fix this and consume the iterator, we'll use the collect method. Wow. Okay, e.g. sum or collect. But again, I don't really know what any of that is gonna look like until I feel like I'm in it, which is kind of fun and exciting. But yeah. All right. Yeah, so far this course has been really good. We'll see once the rubber hits the road how much I get stuck. But I do think it's been really nice to just allow myself some time to get a deeper understanding of the language before trying to jump into projects too soon. I have started working on a very, very, very small little project, like tiny, just to kind of reinforce some of the syntax and stuff. But this has been great with like different exercises that keep you practicing along the way. You gatekept me for so long. Wait, what? What are you talking about? What is the website for learning? It's in the pinned comment. And you can also do !learn Rust. And that's also, no, you're all good. You don't have to be sorry. You're allowed to, the whole point of the live chat is that you're able to ask questions and say things, you know? Why can't we charge for open source for high volume usage? Seems like there would be a solution there where Google's and Fortune 500s of the world would use something in high volume has to pay. It's one of those things though too, where it's like the Googles and the Fortune 500s of the world, how likely are they to maybe just re-implement that exact same thing and make it internal and never pay for anything. You know, if it's an open source project, I don't know. It's kind of, I think open source monetization is a very tricky thing to do. Like I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of companies basically end up just being source available. And even then it'll be most of their source code, but some of it isn't. And it's because you'll get people that just fork. They'll just fork your project and make their own business around it. You know, like it happens. It happens a lot in the open source space if you keep everything open, like if you keep the entire source code available. So it's kind of this weird thing of like in business, you get different dynamics than like true open source community. That makes it kind of weird. Yeah. It is very tricky, especially now in the age of AI replication. Yeah. Yeah, it's something, it's too bad. It's weird. I'm going to do actually a video on kind of like the future of open source in a sense, that kind of talks about some of the different ways that different projects right now are handling a lot of like the AI generated pull requests and stuff like that, and like what that means for the open source community and things like that. Don't worry, it's not like a oh my god, this is the end of the world. I don't really do that kind of stuff. I just find it exhausting. I don't really engage with that kind of stuff, but I am planning on covering that topic specifically in a video. But I'll have to sprinkle it in somewhere in the Learning Rust Chronicles. Okay, so we're going to use the collect method, which is a consumer adapter. This method consumes the iterator, collects all the resulting values into a collection data type. In the following example, we'll collect the results of iterating over the iterator that's returned from the call to map into a vector. Cool. Okay, so because map takes a closure, we can specify any operation that we want to perform on each item. This is a great example of how closures let you customize some behavior while reusing the iteration behavior that the iterator trait provides. Yippee! Yeah, Sylph, you're so right. Sylph is saying it depends on the license, but usually when licenses are too strict, there's another project with a more permissible license that takes over. It happens all the time. I really like the idea of like the I think it was the AGPL software license, where basically it's like you have to keep at least the same level of basically the same level of exposure or permissions. I want to say like permissibility. I don't think that's the word. But basically, yeah, if you fork it and you make modifications to it, it has to remain at the same level of permissions as the previous project, so that people can't just like gatekeep. They can't be like, oh, perfect, let me take all of your work, build on it, and then keep all of those results for myself. You know, I kind of like that. This format of learning some of the Rust topics one by one is not bad at all. I'm actually really liking this. Yeah. Which IDE is this? This is Rust Rover. You can check the pinned comment. That's the specific course that I'm using. It's built into the IDE, which is really nice because you can like uncomment things. You can move things around. You can try and like see based on what it's explaining, it's like, okay, well, in reality, what would that compiler error look like? You know? And I feel like that's a great way to build confidence that when you run into that in the future, it's not going to be so foreign. Permissiveness. Yes, that is the word I was looking for. Thank you. If you use it, you have to give others the same rights you got. Yeah, I kind of like that too, but then it's hard because then there's also like I think there are some organizations that refuse to use software with that license, because it's like if they're using that within a larger system or something like that, then then it would force their larger system to have that license. Or there's some kind of weird thing where it's like a lot of big companies don't like the GPL licenses. Licenses are useless if no one enforces them. AI theft has kind of proven that. Honestly, so true. Do you think that AI cares what license your repo has before it takes all of the information from it? That would actually be so interesting. It'd be crazy if there's like a new license that spawns that's like an anti-AI usage license, where it's like you cannot contribute, like you cannot use this repo for if like with AI tooling as like a data set for AI. So yeah, it's impossible to verify. And then the thing is though too, is like at what point does the verification become more intrusive than you would want, you know? It's like that thing of like, oh, well, kids shouldn't have access to shorts. And then it's like, okay, cool. So let's add age verification where you need to upload your ID to some website that's been hacked like 5 times in the last 10 years. You know? It is very ironic to me how like the US has been the most protective of copyright laws out of anywhere else in the world. And then they're also the ones to be like, actually, well, now that AI exists and it can make us a bunch of money, what do you mean copyright laws? What do you mean we're potentially infringing on intellectual property? I don't think so. I don't think that applies here. Like, have you guys heard the, did you guys ever listen to that episode of, what's it called? Darknet Diaries? The Darknet Diaries Pirate Bay episode is so good. It is one of my favorite episodes of all time, probably, on that podcast. And it's basically the creators of Pirate Bay just constantly getting harassed by copyright laws from the US, and them basically being like, well, we don't fucking care, information should be free to everyone. So we're just going to keep spawning up servers in countries where it doesn't matter. And even if you find us and you arrest us, there are like 5 new servers that will pop up when you take one down. Like, that is basically what happened with Pirate Bay. And it's so funny to see like that as the result of them. I mean, obviously copyright, you know, not to say what they were doing was ethical, but it's so interesting to see the contrast between the response of the US government, of like the US government, or like US copyright. I think it literally was US government. It became like a national issue, or international problem between Sweden and the US. But it's so interesting to see the polarity between that story and then what we're experiencing nowadays with AI. It's so goofy. Meta is arguing that torrenting books en masse for training is fair use. Dude, Meta's evil. Like, for real. Meta is like, dude, they really lost me. They lost the plot when they started trying to create avatars for basically as like chatbots to befriend people on Instagram, where they're like, hey, don't worry, you don't need friends. Just talk to this chatbot. That'll be your friend. And they like hired celebrities to do like voice stuff for them. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I was like, okay, they lost the plot. They're officially like, this is evil. This is like preying on the most vulnerable people, which are people that lack community. And it's like, it's so messed up. I was like, you can't monetize off of people's loneliness when we are social animals. It's what an insane thing to do. And then it's like, they just push all, like, it's so crazy. The agendas there are so crazy. AI friends and partners, it's so dystopian and it's evil. It's like it's intentionally creating distance between that person who is already in need of community more than anyone else, who's already feeling isolated. It will then further that divide for them and make them even more vulnerable. It's just so inappropriate. It's so messed up. I think they gotta, it pisses me off, honestly. I think that ethics in tech have been so overlooked for too long, and it's incredibly frustrating. I feel like there have been so many times over the last decade where I've been like, surely this problem is like, surely like the people that are passing these laws or bills like to allow these tech companies to get away with this stuff, surely this will be the thing that pushes it over the line of like, oh, actually we need to contain this. You know, like at first I thought it would be like data collection with Facebook. It's like, oh, there's this massive data leak. Okay, well, maybe Facebook shouldn't be collecting so much data on its users. Okay, yeah, sure. Oh, well, this is maybe potentially interfering with elections and like feeding false information to consumers on these platforms. Okay, maybe we should regulate that in some way, shape, or form. No. Instead, let's build chatbots that are now becoming the source of truth for people without addressing any of the bias that we're already dealing with big data. It's so insane. If you haven't read Weapons of Mass Destruction is really good. I'm gonna write it out. It's all about bias in big data. And it's very interesting because it talks so much. It gives so many like real world examples of bias in big data, because it's kind of one of those things where you're like, okay, well, I don't know how much this really affects me, but it actually really does. And it's very fascinating on how, like, basically how they create these little like meshes of who they think you are. When they're doing so many different things of like what your insurance cost would be, even like where they're distributing police in different areas across the city and things like that. So it's very, very interesting. Okay. Side quest over, back to iterators. Okay, now that we've introduced iterators, we can demonstrate some common use of closures that capture their environment by using the filter. Okay, so the filter takes an iterator that's a closure, a filter method happens to an iterator and it takes a closure to return some form of Boolean. I feel like we've already been over this. I feel like we already went over this a couple things ago. The insane part is engineers buying the hype. We could have stopped this. I think they just had really good marketing, like fear. They're doing so much fear mongering. It's basically, I feel like at so many places, it's like, oh, you have to adopt this, otherwise you're fired. I think there's just such a, it always is frustrating when people are treated like disposable, you know, replaceable. But again, it's hard when you have so many people with their, like, there's a reason why Silicon Valley is such an echo chamber. It's because they're all invested in each other's companies. And they're like, let's hype it up. And then it's like, okay, well, every single one of you has stakes in this. But I think, unfortunately, that is just kind of how the nature of potentially everything. I remember it was so controversial after the pandemic when it started surfacing, like all the people that had financial interests or financial stakes in some of the like the companies that were providing like some of the different healthcare companies that were involved in everything. Anyway, I don't need to get into like actual, you know, I don't need to get into conspiracy zone, but like, you know what I mean? There's just so many different spaces where people have a vested interest in something and they're like, oh, let me share about this online. Let me share about this online and make this a whole trend just to maximize my returns here. And then they get all their buddies to do it too. body of shoes in my size, we call into iter to create an iterator that takes ownership of the vector. Wait, that's actually really funky. Where? Oh, into iter, here. I see. I see. I think, is this like any... Okay, this one specifically takes ownership of a vector, but I feel like this is probably for any collection. Let me see. Into iterator for vector. Okay, I think maybe it is only vectors. Okay, anyway, into iter, vect iter. Cool. Wow. Wow. Okay, doke. The closure captures the shoe size parameter from the environment and compares the value with each shoe's size, keeping only the shoes of the size specified. Finally, calling collect gathers the values returned by the adapted iterator into a vector that's returned by the function. The test shows that when we call shoes in my size, we get back only shoes that have the same size as the value that we specified. Okay, so basically it's because this function takes a vector, which we create here, and then it will filter that by a specific shoe size. And that's it. That's easy peasy. Yippee! Okay, now the pressure's on. I gotta remember. Now I gotta remember things. Okay, make the code compile by filling in the question marks. So let mute of my iterable favorite fruits is probably gonna be, it's probably gonna be my fave fruits, and then iter, or into iter, into iter, and then next. I think that's it. I think that just needs to be that, and then it's gonna be oh, I copied it too early. Avocado. Fruity enumeration. Yippee! This one is gonna be, oops. Okay. Oh, lols. My bad. My bad, okay. I forgot. Mismatch types. Why is it saying that? So equal. Into iter. What does this return? Creates a consuming iterator. Next. Okay, wait, I need to look at the previous example. Into iter, no, because it's not filter. I see, but I want it to be implementing iterator for item shoe. Is it, what is it mad about? So this is not giving an iter. This is not creating an iterator though or unless into iter. Some expected wait, what? I think this is not iterating because is it being lazy? Do I have to call it? I don't think so. Yo, Spheraphoria! How's it going? Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. What you building? How's life? I'm learning the basics of Rust. And I'm trying to figure out why this isn't working. Because I don't remember. Okay, we need to apply something to the collection before we're able to go through it. Oh wait, let's look at this. Take a look at the struct definition for inspiration. Do I need to, I don't think I need to implement anything for a vector. Very similar to the lines above and below. It's this. Classic Rust type shenanigans, yeah, for real. For real, for real. Are you doing Zig? Have you tried? What are you liking about it? Do you have the anchor and hooks? No. I'm missing something. I'm not gonna get this. Iterator goes through all the elements in a collection. What if we run out of elements? Okay, that I already know. This is mad. Oh, wait, this could fix me. This could possibly fix me. Blocking, we don't. Expected an enumerator for that. What? Banana map. Okay, I don't know if this is actually going to give me a useful error for... I know that I need basically to have some kind of I feel like consumption or something. I need this to be an iterator. Yo, S-Fan, what's up? How's it going? How's life? Spheraphoria says, we're learning a bunch of oh my gosh. Okay, I lost it. We're learning or writing a bunch of Zig after like 10 years of Rust. It feels freeing. It's also way more dangerous. Okay, honestly, fair. 10 years of Rust, you're so ahead of the curve. That's crazy. I'm good, just been busy. What have you been up to? What's going on in gamer land? I've been in coding land. I've had a migraine for like the last like 2.5 days. So I am playing catch up a little bit in what I was trying to get done this week. Womp womp. Such is life. You know what? Maybe we're not supposed to look at screens so much, but unfortunately that's my lifestyle. That's the difference between iter and into iter. Oh, what the frick? Okay, versus iter. I forgot about the iter alone would do it. I hate this. I know hate's a strong word, but that's dumb. Alan, English only, please. I think that's Russian. You cannot speak Russian, I'm sorry. No need to borrow your string in asserts. Oh, I was just copying what it had. That's what it wanted from me. Oh, Spheraphoria also said, when you get into larger Rust projects, you'll start to feel like forced to be correct, which is the sell, but it can be a pain. Zig lets me be wrong, which I like. Okay, honestly fair. Honestly fair. Yo, hey Abu. Okay, wait, we also need to shout out. Did any of my mods shout out Spherophoria? Sphero, I can totally spell it this time. Okay, it's Spherophoria. I definitely spelled it wrong. Hold on, I'm so close. I'm so close. Spherophoria. Oh my gosh, I think I actually did it. I don't know if I think my other shout out might be on cooldown, potentially. Did it work? Okay, you know what? I think that's me. I think that might be you. I have to wait 24 seconds. Okay, into iter is item ownership. Iter is item borrowed. What the frick? Okay, I didn't know that, TBH. Item ownership. And this one is item borrowed. God, you guys are so smart. What the frick? What the heck? Are you learning to be able to build smart contracts? You know what, Tune? I could build anything. With this knowledge, look what I just did. Do you see that? Do you see what I've built here? This is an iterator. Now I can do it all. Smart contracts are next. Okay, into iter consumes self, basically iter borrows. Okay, that's very interesting. Oh my god, what is happening in my chat? Okay, that was so weird. I had a weird overlay thing happen. This hoodie don't lie. I'm in hacker mode. You gotta restart the Rust grind. I'm ahead of you. Ooh. We're on the ship and it's sailing. Everyone, now's your time. Well, the nice thing is that it'll be documented forever. All of my rage while writing Rust will be documented forever on my YouTube channel. So you guys can watch me struggle in real time. Okay, a vector is a number of values given. Your thing is to complete the functions that each number in vector is multiplied by 2. Cannot assign a new value to an immutable. Okay, well, I'm just gonna make you mutable then. Don't be a little bitch. Have you tried that? Damn. Oh shit, no, it did not like that. Okay, listen, there's a chance it does not like what I'm trying to do here. Multiply all the elements. I want you to be mutable. Why is that such a problem for you? I forget how to do this. Don't worry, we're so close. I'm so close here. And mut. But that makes it mad. And now it's mad about something else. What do you want? Cannot be applied to... Oh. Okay. Do I have to do this? Is it a reference? Where the frick are you? Cannot assign a new value to immutable borrowing, blah, 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 blah. You know what? We're gonna guess. We're spamming. We're spamming. Num is equal to num times 2. It's the same. Expected and 32, but found I 32. You know what? Read the docs about map function, how to access blah, 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 blah. Access the docs to try and move your... Okay. This shit. Func mute. Move and not mute. I can't remember iter map x 2 times x. Okay, it's just not that hard. It's not that... Oh my god, I'm so goofy. You guys, why didn't you tell me? That's so embarrassing. Okay, and then what does this want? From iterators not implemented for vec I 32. What the heck? Does it want me to make this? Hold on. I'm gonna try something. You're gonna hate this. Okay, that did nothing. Okay, you know what? From iterator is not implemented. I think I did a thing. I think it's this. Oh my god. This language is gonna be the end of me. Prime, get good. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate all of the helpful videos. They've been super helpful to me as a newbie. Let's go. Check the type of iter's return. You're so right. Spherophoria, I might bug you for Rust stuff later down the line. I'm trying to accumulate my deck of Rustations that I can call, that I can summon. Like we're in a game of Magic. You know? Me who doesn't know how to play Magic. I'm just a poser. I don't know how to play Magic the Gathering anyway. Magic the Gathering? Actually, I highly suggest you read your YouTube chat. There are some Rust heads here. You know what? You could be right. You're returning an empty thing right now. You gotta remove the semicolon to return. You know what? You're kind of right. You know what? You are kind of right. Okay, the next one. Capitalize the first something. Capitalize first function to pass the first few tests. It has a hello, which is an input of hello. Okay. Return a vector of words. Or sorry, return a vector of strings. Okay, step 1. Make it pass the first tests. It has to return hello, which inputs when the input is hello. Okay. Oh, the first car. Is there already a 2 uppercase? You know what I need right now? I literally need dev docs. I just need dev docs open and then this will fix everything. Guys, my head's feeling good. I gotta drink more water. I got it. I have to enjoy this freedom while it lasts. Learning the type syntax and following the function signatures. I have been trying to do that, and I've been trying to listen to the compiler. Yippee! Speaking of water, everyone hydrate. Now's your time. Okay. Okay, right. That's what I was gonna look at. I was doing this and I gotta find Rust. Do you guys know DevDocs? Guys, I have a whole short on it. If you don't know DevDocs at this point, it means you don't watch my shorts. Which is kind of, you know what? I actually am not here to tell you how to live your life, so it actually means nothing to you. It changes nothing, I guess. But DevDocs is actually the GOAT. Because now I can look up and see if there's any kind of capitalize anything. Into values, HashMap, B-tree. Oh my god. What can I do on a character? Upper. Strings.toUpper. Bytes.toUpper. I'm going to try doing first. Hello? Okay, sometimes, I'm gonna be honest, sometimes this thing just be, okay. I'm gonna do first and see if that exists. You don't exist? For a character? I don't know how to get the capitalized version of char is uppercase to uppercase. Oh, we're so, don't you even worry. I have dev docs and now I'm unstoppable. Oops. Okay. Sometimes it like doesn't register my escape. Oh, am I goofy? To uppercase self. Oh, hold on. We're working on it. Expected string. What? Oh, it's supposed to be a string? Well, then I can... Okay, okay. Okay, don't worry. We're adapting. We adapt, we overcome. We adapt, we overcome. That. This. That. Oh, it's mad. Print line. Oh, this needs to be format. No! Don't change anything else. Format. Ooh. Ooh, we're getting there. Okay, I think that worked. I think that'll do, potentially. Wait, first. Put .chars, capitalize first. Okay. And then what does it want from me? I don't watch any shorts as a matter of policy. Okay, maybe would it be of interest to you, for the people who don't like watching shorts, sometimes I'll share like little helpful tidbits of things that I'm finding that I don't think is worth a like full long form video, because I'm like, I can explain it in less than a minute. Would it be helpful if I did like a compilation almost of those actual like the really valuable tips for shorts into like a long form video, so that you're not stuck scrolling on YouTube Shorts? Because like, let me look at some of the ones that I've shared recently. Like ones that I think are standout to me for... Okay, so I have quite a few where I was talking about... so some of them, it'll just be like clips from stream as well, which I'm trying to start putting a bunch of clips together for at least members for like highlights. But sometimes I'll have like tips of like overcome, like one of them was like overcoming the overwhelm of greenfield projects. How to keep up with trends as a software developer. Oh, fish shell shortcuts. There's also getting like an interactive wiki for any GitHub repos that you want to like work with. What else do I think are really good ones? Honestly, explaining the schedule command and how that works with Nightbot. Dev docs, email aliases, FSCK, which is like the file system check, which is like fixing emergency mode on Linux. What else? I say those are the most recent like tips that I have. Some of my other ones are just like little updates. But I also try to use posts on, I don't know if you guys like check this at all, but on my YouTube channel, I do also do a lot of like written posts. So I'll share like different images of like what I've been up to and stuff. And if I have like any announcements and stuff, I'll also post it in the posts. And also for members, often for members, I'll post, if there's anything that I came across, like basically like problems that I was working on that week and that I found a solution for, I'll often do like a little behind the scenes, like write up on that stuff. I haven't done that as much recently because I obviously have been like learning a new language and not working on things to maintain. But yeah. Maybe I do, maybe for those of you who, don't like the don't like the short form for the fact that it pulls you into a feed and stuff, maybe I'll try and do something, an alternative. Shorts are good for getting reach. Yeah, I think the shorts have been a cool way to do that. A long of shorts. Yes. Shorts plus a weekly long form compilation. Yeah, that could be helpful too. I don't know if I can do weekly because it's hard because I still edit most of my own videos. I have an editor that helps everyone, like that helps with like maybe, I'm trying to get her to help to do more, but sometimes it's hard because I have to like get all of the examples and stuff that I want on screen for you. I have to put all of that together for them. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, it's easier if I just do that while I'm editing it. So I still have a bit of a bottleneck in my process where I'm editing everything myself. Or not everything, but like maybe 80%. So far. I forgot there was music on stream. My bad. As soon as I say, let me switch from YouTube to Twitch, an ad appears. Yeah, I think I gotta change the latency of the, I think there's a stream delay on YouTube, like a pretty significant one that makes it hard to chat. All right, you guys, how much more? Okay, I think these are just tasks that we have left. So I'm gonna try and just finish these tasks off. And then that'll probably be the end of today's sesh. Okay, so we got the first character to uppercase. And I don't know, we'll see if this is what they wanted. Apply the capitalized first function to a slice of string slices. Which it seems like it's kind of already doing that. This function is only needed to test your code. Okay, capitalize, wait, what? It's already calling that. What do you want from me? Okay, apply the capitalized first function again to a string of slices and return a single string. To a slice of string slices. No, maybe, it's doing a vector of capitalized first. I'm gonna run this and see what happens. Okay, capitalized words string. So this is currently doing nothing. Capitalized words string. It's supposed to call what now? To a slice of string slices. Return a single string. Okay, so I need to join these together, which means I can probably just do, ooh, okay. I guess I probably have to use an iterator. So I can do words.iter. Okay, expect a string found. Yeah, don't worry about it. Oh. Okay, so I need to iterate over them. And then I need to join them. Do I need to iterate over them? I feel like we just did iterators, so I should. I feel like I could just have a... Okay. This is going to be immutable. I think it's also that. Okay, so there's that. And then this, I'm going to do words. I'm going to iterate over it. And then I'm going to... I don't think I even need to filter or anything. I just need to iterate over it and have it append to the string. Can I do map? Map, and then I'm gonna do map is the word. Is that how that's gonna work? Oh my god. Okay, that. And I'm gonna do strings from word. So I'm making it into or not. Oh wait, I'm hold on. Is that a thing? Frick. Oh. Yeah. So I need to do output I don't even know if that's how that works. No, you know what I can do, I think, is maybe I use my little format, my bestie SD. So we do that, and then I think we can do map, and it's gonna be output and string. And then what? I think I'm getting closer, but this is not quite how we do it. You get the gist of what I'm trying to do, you know? Okay, wait. Iterator. Create. Oh, I can just use a for loop. Okay, so for word in words.iter. Oh wait, I gotta do that. Right? And then go to this. Paste that. Delete this. I don't need that, I think. And what the frick are you mad about? Expected. That? No, expected string but found. What am I evaluating? Format. Why is it expecting nothing? What do you want from me? Oh, wait. Can I do output is equal to that? And that. Expected string but found. ¿Por qué? Format is a string. Expected, yeah. And then, oh my God. I didn't return anything yet. Oh. Grr. Is this how I do it? Is possibly uninitialized. Binding initialized here. Wait, what? Declared here, left uninitialized. Okay, maybe I just do let mut. You know what? Expected string. Oh. Oh my God. I'm typoing. I'm typoing everywhere. Okay, what do you want now? Okay. Is this a problem? Can it show me? Can it show me what's happening? Okay, left and right. Oh, I see. Wait, words.iter. Format. What is that? I'm gonna be honest, I don't, let's see. Left is, okay, it's not working. Wait, test, iterate into string. Capitalize word string. I don't know which one of these is. Okay, well, it hates this. I think I'm supposed to, oh my God, wait, I'm being so goofy. Okay, nobody saw this. Capitalize first. Hey. Me forgetting to capitalize it. Okay, what else is the problem? HW. Okay, so it's not, I think I'm not adding. I think this is, was this supposed to just return the character this whole time or not? Okay, me doing this for everything. First dot, okay, and then what about the rest of it? Can I do input Input, but everything but the first. Can I do that? Doesn't like that. Size cannot be known. Frick. Okay, the first is the character. Input.chars. I can just do C. C, the rest of C. That's not the first. But the other compressed data inference. Okay, but chars does not implement display required by, yeah. Okay, you know what? You're kind of right. I don't remember how to, is there a string join? Slice join, string join. Okay, join, and it's a slice okay, wait, hold on. There might be something else here that I can do. How do I use it? Slice. So I can do that, and then I get a slice, which can be and a separator, which is nothing. Input.chars. What are you? Okay, that returns an iterator over the chars. So yeah, 2 uppercase. No, this returns a, what does this return? Okay, wait, hold on. It really doesn't like what I just did there. Oh, it returns an iterator that yields an uppercase mapping of the char as one or more chars. What? If this char does not have an uppercase map, what? Oh no. How do I join? Oh, I can slice join. Join slices. Can I join 2 slices? Join. Slice join. Self separator. Wait, join. Cert equal that join. Can I join 2 slices? Oh my god, I don't know how to do this. This is so funny. Okay, wait, I don't think you can add to a slice. To slice Rust. You have to convert it to something else. I saw iter.cloned. Oh my god. Slice 1, 2. I don't know. We peek. You just do, okay, the slice itself dot join. I thought you were an Emacs user. What's going on? My whole identity is tied to my editor. What shall I do? What do I do now? Can I do, oh wait, first. Okay, we just be trying stuff right now. Okay, we just be trying shit. I don't know how to ignore the first character of C. I really don't. I think I might be getting further from the plot. Function takes 1 parameter. What do you want from me? Oh no. It's an iterator. I don't know what to do with you. Okay, we're gonna peek. And I'm not gonna look at mine. I'm not comparing mine. I just need to look at what it... Dot collect. What? Wait, what? What is happening? Show me more. I need to see more. C dot as stir. I've never seen. Okay, listen. How am I supposed to know that? How am I supposed to freaking know that? Okay. Collect. Okay, so we put it into a collection, which is a string, and then you concatenate it. Okay, well, that is interesting. Okay, and then we're reusing that for the capitalized words. They're doing an iterator. Oh, they're doing a map. Capitalize first word and then dot collect. I think the way I'm doing it should, in theory, maybe be fine. But I think you're collect. Capitalize first word dot collect. You know what? You're kind of right. Babies don't talk, Osley. What the heck? Where'd you get the learn part in Writer? Press Alt F4 and it'll refactor automatically. I'm sure it will. Format is honestly a better solution. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. Okay, how do I close this? Get out of here. Okay, so this I can just do, okay, we move them all to string types. Okay, so this, create a collection. Create a collection. The compilers are, okay. Do I have to do, oh, because this returns an iterator. Oh, you're so, oh my God, that makes sense. Okay, and then I would do that as the type of the collect. No, it didn't like that. How do I specify collect type? Is it in here? I forget. Okay, that, and then it was plus C dot as string. Right? Okay, now it'll tell me. Okay, so from iterator collect, can you show me one example of the collection? Can you show me anything? Okay, this. Yeah? No. Doubled, okay. Collect. Oh, I see. I put it here. Oh, I think it's, what is it? It's not that. Oh my God. How do you deal with trollers? I just ignore them. They can talk to the hand. You can avoid this string by declaring the variable type you're assigned to. The compiler is smart. Okay. But in this case, I'm returning it right away. In IRL too, yeah. I don't know. I don't think I'm very intimidating, but I think I can be. Sometimes they just gotta get a little and walk away. You need a turbo fish? What is a turbo fish? Sorry, I'm smacking the mic again. Are you cold? Do you mean my heart? or me right now? My physical body or my heart? Is that working? Frick! Okay. So there was that. Oh yeah, they changed something else here and I don't know what. Oh, capitalized words oh, I didn't do anything here. You know what? Okay, fair. Honestly, fair. Fair enough. Okay, so what am I supposed to do for step 2? Apply the capitalized first function to a slice of string slices. Return a vector of strings. Okay, so I have words. I'm gonna turn it into a vector, which means I can do collect on it eventually, which means that I need to turn it into an iterator. And then I need to run capitalize first. So I can basically do what they wanted me to do, where it was gonna be a word and then it was gonna be to run the capitalize first on that word. And then collect, it already knows the type. And then I can write it a million times in hopes that it saves my file. Yippee! Oh my god, okay, this kind of pisses me off, I'm gonna be honest. What the heck? How am I supposed to know that I'm supposed to convert character as string and just turn it all into strings and just do basic string concatenation? What the heck? How am I supposed to know? No autocomplete? No, that defeats the purpose. Otherwise, autocomplete is remembering, not me. Yippee! You don't know how many string types are on Rust? There's string literals and then the string standard library type. And then I don't know what other ones. Nope. Six Pounder's trying to help. And wait, that's so funny. Yeah, the angled brackets not being compatible is actually so funny because that also means I can never put Rust source code in any YouTube descriptions. You'll remember to autocomplete. My autocomplete ain't built like that in Emacs. Okay, uh-oh. This is a bigger exercise than most of the others. It's okay, I'll open up dev docs, okay? We got this. We so have this. I believe there may be a bot in this chat. Oh. Who? Oh, Skies. No. Skies is just a helpful alien. That's rude. It's not Skies. Skies is just from the aliens. And they know Rust. That's how Rust is here. Shift, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Grizzly, also thank you for the Prime sub. I'm sorry if it took me a while to thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Is there any reward if I can discuss? What's the color of the top you're wearing inside the hoodie? No. Is there a reward if I guess what t-shirt you're wearing, Flash? What color t-shirt? Can you answer the question if you have a cold heart? Definitely. They call me Ice Queen. They call me the Ice Queen for a reason. 1-0-1-1-0-1-0-0-1-1-0-1-1-1-1-0-1-1-0-0-1-0-1. Thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Take a guess. Go for it. I'm gonna guess you're wearing a white t-shirt, Flash, and you have to be honest. A white graphic tee. Black? Oh, that was my next one. I was gonna say black, and then I was like, no, you know what? What if it's white? Frick. I could have been right, but instead I wasn't. You can't do this to me. You are AI? Maybe you're AI. But that's what an AI would say. Maybe I am. You know, if I was AI, you know what would actually be kind of a goated move? If I was AI and I didn't want you to think I was AI, I would do a Rust course and walk through the whole thing on video, because you're like, well, if she was AI, she'd know this already. So obviously she's not AI, but I'm actually AI. See? Now you don't know. Yeah. Then you don't know. Am I just 5 steps ahead, or am I a human? We're in an AI simulator. What if an AI had to learn Rust? Bye, Osloy. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye. This is exactly how AIs learn Rust. You know what? I think you might be right. Or it's how humans learn Rust, and I'm AI trying to convince you otherwise. You'll never know. You know G, so I'll go with the human hypothesis. What if G has been asking me for like life advice? We become friends, but I'm just an AI chatbot. And G's like, this is my friend. And then chat's like, oh yeah, sure, okay. And then it's like, I'm AI. And little did you know that G is just befriending AI for so long and gets their life advice from AI. You never know. You never know. Arguably so, considering you accompanied her to TwitchCon. Okay, well, I've been outed as not AI. Unfortunately, just a stupid human. I'm not AGI, not achieved. But what's the inverse of AGI? Whatever it is, not achieved. Okay, this is a bigger exercise. I need to complete the divide function to get the first 4 tests to pass. Where are the tests? Where? Oh, nowhere? Hello? Test. Not divisible error. What is this? Oh, it's all in one file. All right, well, you know what? I tried. All right. Derive. Okay, well. Okay, so I have to get divide to work. If B is 0, where are the tests? I need your tests. Usually it gives you a little test file. No, not today. Okay. Divide. I will say this does seem substantially harder without tests. Source, do you have other open in? Like normally there's a no. Okay. It's fine. Okay. Oh, wait, I didn't read. It's fine. I was overcomplicating it. It's okay. What's the name of the Rust course? It's JetBrains Academy. It's in a pinned comment. It's also in the Learn Rust command. Okay, well, if we're dividing... Okay. If the modulo, the remainder is 0, then it's fine. It's A divided by B, right? A over B. Expected result. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Result I32, but found. Uh-oh. No one saw that. I keep closing it by accident. Okay, almost. Almost. Found option. Okay, that's not it. I can't remember. It's E and what do you want from me? T? Okay, results. Nope. That or... Can I do that and then none? Frick, I can't remember. Oh, it's okay. That's what it was. I was like, some? Oh, whoops. Oh, and I think it's not that. Mad? It's still mad? Okay, not that. Yes. Okay. So, if B is 0, A is, wait, is divided, calculate A if A is evenly divisible by B. Oh, okay, my bad. You deleted like the bottom half of your phone. Wait, did I? Okay. Okay, you know, you know what? There's a chance you're right. Okay, listen. She's almost only paying a little bit of attention. Okay, if A is evenly, A divided by B, if A is evenly divisible by 0. Okay. Wait, so that means it's this one only. Only that. And then otherwise it's probably an error. Also an error. Something goes there. Okay. Desired output is wait, what? Divide and by 27. Hello, is this thing on? Hello. I got confused. I know it wasn't some. I was like, it's something like this, but I don't remember. I don't know what errors this is supposed to give me. Division error? Oh, wait, I'm goofy. Where's the enum? Ah. Ah, we got this. Don't worry. Divide by 0. Merp. Not divisible error. Oh, I see. Okay. What do you mean? dividend. Am I doing this wrong? Why is this all messed up? Okay. It seems not upset, which is a good start. And then I have to complete result with a list. Desired output is going to be okay to a slice. Okay, wait, 2 iters map. We're so close. I might actually have to stop streaming soon though. I said I would get through all of these, but I think I have to get through some of them off stream. I think the light is starting to bother my eyes a little bit, which is no bueno since I keep having migraines. I need to just try to do this faster, but we'll see. There are in fact skill issues in the way. I don't remember how to say that this is a slice. Okay. It's going to be a result with, I think a slice of I32 and a division error. Oops. The result is I32. Okay. Division results. And then you, can I do collect, slice? Slice of I32? No. I guess if I already have the return type, it might be fine. Okay, it might be okay. Okay, we're getting somewhere. This is going to be a slice of results. Results I32, comma, division error. Oh, it hated that. Size does not implemented. Oh, freak. Oh, wait, this, it hates that too. Cannot be known. You know what? That number's, maybe it's supposed to be a vector. I can just make it a vector. You can do vec I32. Cannot find, hold on. That. That is, okay, super not what I was trying to do. That's fine. Mismatch type, that's fine. Okay, is it gonna be okay with that? What do you want? No! What did I do? Return to error, division error, not divisible. Okay, it really does not like this. Oh wait, this is actually a vector. Hold on. I think this is a vector of results, no? And it's gonna be I32 and I think. Oh no, it does not like that. Wait. No. Okay, wait. I think I was close, but then I just need to delete this. Okay, I hated that. List of results. Must have a body? Oh. Okay, and then this is making it mad as well. For some reason. Oh no, that worked. Yippee! Yippee, we did it. Can we check the tests? I would love to. I don't think we can. Okay. I think this one, it looks like it probably just did the same thing. Yeah, it just did it one line. Okay, interesting. So instead of chaining it up here, it returned division results dot collect. Oh, this is very different from what I did. I just did it as a collection. Okay, this one, for whatever reason, they created X. That was a vector of results. Division error. They didn't gotta do all that. I don't know why they did that versus just what I did. It's so much worse than yours? Okay. So I was like, this seems unnecessary. Given what it has taught me. Okay. All right, maybe we do one more. Maybe we do one more. I'm feeling good after that. Oh, Factorial. Okay. Do not use return. Don't use loops. And don't use recursion. Can I just do an iterator? num.iter dot map and make it. Oh wait, num is just one number. Oh right, frick. Okay, I forget how factorials work. Bear with me. I'm having a blonde moment. Okay. All positive integers. 5 times 4. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do. I have to do an iterator. So somehow I need to, okay, get current number until we're at 1. How do I make this loop without doing a loop? How do I... Hold on, I gotta look at iterators again. Okay, this is fucked up. I just looked it up. And the first, I was just like, I was looking for the iterator I wrote Factorial Iterator Rust, and this is the solution it gives me, which, like, I didn't know this stuff existed. It goes that equal n dot product. What? When have I seen any of this? That's crazy. I don't remember ranges were introduced in the course. They were not. They literally were not. Maybe during, I think they did for like slices, but they did not mention, they were like, what did they do? Yeah. It did say for extra fun. You know what? You're kind of right. All right. So, by the way, probably look at range. Note to self. Look at ranges. For example, I think we actually did do that, but like so long ago. Like when in like the first chapter. Maybe not the first chapter, but like very, very long. Never use keyword return in the Rust symbol. Already knows in the beginning to return. Yeah. Dot dot equals inclusive. Dot dot is exclusive. Okay. Yeah, you know what? In hindsight, I think it was back. I think it was actually back up here. I think it's literally like in this tuples and arrays one. Something like that. Like it's so early on that they teach that, I think. I forgot that even existed. Even if they showed ranges, it probably wasn't clear that it's also an iterator. Yeah, that I did not know, but that's very cool. Okay. Of course it works. Google told me. Google said I was right. So, actually, don't question me again. All right, we're almost done. Okay, rustling progress is modeled using a hash map. The name of this exercise. Make this compile and the test match. Okay, we try this one quick. We go quickly. We create this counting functionality using iterators. So this is counting. The map is a hash map of string progress. None sum complete. Count for. Okay, so for value and if the value is right. Okay, so we're looking. Wait, what? Map.values. So I want to look through map.values and see if the value is that, then you're counting it. But I want to do it with an iterator. So we can do map.values, which is what type? String and progress. For val. So I want to do that. I'm going to do filter. Can I do that? No. What is it mad about? Listing all values in arbitrary order. Wait, I don't, okay, maybe I don't understand this. String and progress. I want progress. In map.values. Okay. We'll see. Maybe this does work. Maybe it secretly lets me do this. Oh, it maybe secretly does. Okay. If x.val, or if x is equal to value. yeah. If x is equal to value, it's going to filter that. And then it's going to can I do dot collect into a vector of some kind? This seems honestly potentially overkill. Filter. Oh, there's some kind of EQ something I can do. Binary can what? Oh. A reference to, wait, this is messing me up. Can I do that? Dot collect. Okay. So then let progress count. Can I make that a vector of some kind? Vec some kind? Oh. Oh. Can I get progress count dot length? Length? Vector length? What is this? Length? How do I use you? Returns the remaining. Okay, usage. Can I do that? Okay, and then count to stack. What? What? What do you want from me? What is the difference? Oh, it's a map versus a stack? Frick. This one's got nested for the map in this. Oh my gosh, you're right. It's a map of stacks. Okay, you know what? Don't panic. This is fine. I think what we do is we do the same thing. You know what? Wait. I got this. You do that. And then can we do stack.iter? I want to get the, okay, wait. Map. X, and then we're going to do X. We're going to do count X. And then that's going to give us the size for each of the maps. And then maybe I can do product. No, I don't. You know what? We're so close. I think. Wait, what does it want from me? Count and value? Hello? What does product do again? Product. Oh, wait, not product. It wants, hello? Product, girl. Count the stack for all of them. I think that's what's happening here. Oh no. Uh-oh. It didn't like that at all. Okay, what's it mad about? Okay, hear me out. Progress count. This is gonna be a vector of progress. I think. Okay, what's it mad about now? It's giving me squiggly wigglies. That or else expected got progress count. Huh? What the frick you want from me? Okay, or you just be whatever you are. Be yourself. Okay, now it's a little bit mad. It does need to type. Type annotations needed. Okay, well, try not. You were still kind of mad. Okay. All right. Hold on. We're gonna run it again and see what happens. What? 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 We're freaking cooking! Yes, chef! Yes, chef! Yo, we did it. We did it. This was actually, I remember seeing that, when I first saw this, I was like, oh no, this is so much more complicated. And then I'm like, wait, it's actually really not. It's just now a collection of this exact same function that we just implemented. Yippee! Iterators have a count instead of collect. Oh. So I could have just done, wait. Excuse me, testing it. Count. Oh, and then I gotta delete that, and I gotta do it. And then I gotta. Ooh, let's see if that works. Check. Ooh, so smart. Even better. Oh, wait. Even better. Wow. All right, you guys. Next up, we are introing into smart pointers, which I'm going to do off stream because that's it. Tired of these bright lights, Grandpa. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. It's too damn bad. That's the me right now. All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'm sending you to the birds, aka the animals at Alveus. Okay. That is my new go-to raid. Unless there are any VIPs, if there are VIPs or mods in the chat who want to tell me who to raid, let me know. Otherwise, we go to the animals. You get animal live cams. We're raiding Animal Sanctuary. All right, you guys. Wait, are you for real? The guy? Are you joking? Hello? His Valorant, I don't know how relevant it is. Okay, the guy, send me, bro, chill, I'm a slow typer. You gotta work on it. Listen, we got rage to do. Okay, how about you, how do you get the errors in red when you're live coding? What? The guy, send me the username on, in the mods channel. I've already emotionally prepared the chat for today for us to raid Alveus, but I'll start looking for them for other raids. Okay. Yippee! All right, you guys. Have a great rest of your day. If you're on YouTube, I don't have the energy to redirect you. Do I? I might. If you're on Twitch, I will see you. Sayonara. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Oh, here, wait. I think YouTube, I think I can actually redirect you to Alveus as well. There we go. All right. Saving it. I'm ending stream. You guys are going to get sent to Alveus on YouTube. So you get to check out all of the same things as the Twitch chat